Hello, everyone. I just dropped my phone. Welcome to our podcast show, Knowledge to Inspire. This is our first live show, Tiffany. We're streaming live, and so we're gonna do this. I am Lauren Patterson, author of Freeing Your Heart for Love.
And I'm Tiffany Patlin, best-selling author of Unlocking Your Ability to Heal.
Our sole purpose is to discuss a variety of topics, both popular and taboo. We will be sharing our personal experiences and present experts, inspiring guests, professionals, and upcoming authors, all with the wisdom and knowledge to inspire you. So, Tiffany, what are you toasting to today?
Taking it easy. I've been taking it easy this week. All the females know that, come once a month, got to be gentle with yourself and have some downtime. So I've been very gentle with myself, just relaxing, doing what I can here and there and not beating myself up and just being proud of myself for just taking care of myself. That's what I'm celebrating.
Aw, I'm so proud of you. It's good. We always talk about self-love and self-care. So I'm glad you're doing that for yourself.
I have to, otherwise I'd be going, woo! And I don't like that.
But thanks for showing up. Thank you for showing up, because I know it's hard when women go through the monthly things.
I'm not going to lie. I would rather be in bed right now. but that doesn't mean I would. I would, I'm a mama. I got 3 kids. Yeah, right.
But you showed up for everybody. So.
Yes, I love you, Lauren, and I love Knowledge to Inspire. I love meeting our new people.
Yes, I love you too. But I'm so excited. Yeah, so I'm celebrating. My books are coming Thursday.
Oh, that is exciting. I can't wait to get mine.
I am so excited. So they ended up, I guess when you print books, they make extra. They ended up making 30 extra so the whole shipment, all 180 books came out perfectly. There was no bleed so she said, they emailed me and they said, do you want the other 30? I'm like, sure.
No, not at all.
I had to pay for them, but still.
Yeah.
But they're coming.
That's awesome. What are you going to do with the 30? What are you thinking of doing with those?
Well, I'm gifting a lot of books to people who are buying. So when somebody buys one, I feel the need to gift one. Or if somebody DMs me on Instagram, I'll gift them a book. If somebody sends me a message and says, you inspired me or whatever, I just feel that I want to gift. So I've been gifting a lot of books. So I owe people books.
You. That's awesome. I love that. Because, that's why we're doing it, right? At the end of the day, it's to inspire people and help them, right? Lift them up out of that dark spot.
Yes, for sure. And
your book does do that. Your book is very inspirational. So if anybody out there, if you're listening, you heard what she said, DM her, get your book.
Yeah. And I told you, well, you know the story, but I can tell everybody here. I went away for the weekend with my husband and ran into a few girls along the way. And one girl bought 2 books and, was literally like tearing up when I shared my story with her. And it just touched me. It's because those are the reasons why we write our book and why we share our most personal experiences, because there's a lot of stuff in my book that I was going to take to my grave. So it made me feel good because I'm like, okay, then it just reassures me. And then I pulled 2 really good angel cards this morning. So I'm just full with a lot of emotion. I remember you telling me that when you got your book. It's been really crazy emotional lately.
It's just amazing to think of something that seems so far out of your reach, like unbelievable, like there's no way that you can achieve it. And then the next thing you know, that time is right here, right now. And you're like, holy crap, I achieved the impossible. And I think that's why we get so emotional, because it's just like, holy crap. Like, Lauren, if we can do this, girl, we can do anything. And so can anybody else in the world. Doesn't matter where you come from. Doesn't matter if you never took care of yourself. Doesn't matter how old you are and you're just now learning about self-love. Hello, look at me and Lauren. It
Hmm.
doesn't matter. Like, you can
Yep.
really do whatever it is that you want to do.
I want to share this movie that I watched with you.
Hmm.
Um, you should watch it. But do you watch movies?
If we get to watch a movie, it has to be late at night when my children have fallen asleep, but then we sacrifice our sleep to try to stay awake to watch something.
Because you were talking about how everything happens in our life for a reason, right?
Mhm.
And after I came back from this trip, my husband and I watched this movie called The Adjustment Bureau. And Tiffany, I'm not kidding. You have to watch this movie because it made me think about my life. So basically, it's with Emily Blunt and Matt Damon. And Matt Damon is a senator and he's running for Senate and all these things happen to him. But he meets this girl who's Emily Blunt and they were never supposed to meet. So there's these people, and I think they were guardian angels, but in the movie, they're called the Bureau. And there's these people with a notebook, and they have a plan for him. They have a life plan. So his plan was not to meet her because if he met her, he wouldn't go on to do all the other things that he needed to do because he would have been fulfilled with just her, having her. So they have this plan. So they stop him from meeting her and they do everything they can. And he runs away from them and they go through these doors. And it's a really, really trippy movie. But
Wow.
but in the end, they ended up being together because the Bureau said, well, we put every obstacle in front of you and you overcame every obstacle to be together. So you guys were truly meant to be together. So we rewrote the plan. So you guys are going to be together. Yeah. So I was like thinking about my life and I was like, wow, that's like crazy because all those experiences that me and you both went through in our past has guided us to the place that we're at now, has guided us to write our book, become the light workers that we are. So I was watching that movie and I became more emotional.
Oh,
I was like,
I
what is
bet.
going on? But yeah, it's called The Adjustment Bureau. It's really good. You and your husband should watch it.
I'm going to tell my husband today.
I was tripping out because I was relating it to my life and how everything just really does happen for a reason. And we all have a plan for our life and a purpose. And so,
I
yeah.
really believe lessons. Every time something happens, I really believe that it's happening because we're meant to learn a lesson from it. And you know how those things, like, it's like, why does this keep happening to me over and over and over again, whatever it is? It's because you're not learning the lesson you're meant to learn. So it's going to keep happening again and again and again until you stop and take a moment and, be present and, just think and listen, and you'll get the answers. They're there for you. Those are your answers that are there for you. You just got to just stop. And I feel like when we run through life and we're so busy, we tend to not notice things. And that's why becoming spiritual, if you're not, it's a beautiful thing because it helps you to see things that you didn't see before. I think you mentioned that before, right, Lauren?
Yeah. And I was doing a meditation. Right now I'm doing a new meditation of clearing energies and awakening energies. And I'm on energy number 7. And I'll text you the name of the lady who does these, but she guides you through these energies. And I think there's 8 or 9 energies. And I'm on 7. And I was crying this morning because she was talking about imagine yourself on a hill, and in the front of you is this beautiful landscape, and in the back of you is landscape. Everything behind you is your past, and everything in front of you is your future. Turn around and say goodbye to all of that past, and you're moving into the future with joy and abundance. And she said, and now the guardian angel is coming down to take your hand, and you guys are floating up to the top, and the earth looks really, really small, but you can see this big bright moon with a lot of stars. And I was just like crying because I literally can visualize it. I visualized it. I saw the earth down below. I saw the stars in the sky. I saw the big bright moon, and I just was filled with so much emotion. And then after I meditate, I usually pull my angel cards, and I pulled 2 really good angel cards. So that's spirituality. I mean, once you tune in, I just thought of tune in Tokyo, tune in Tokyo.
It's true though, because I didn't used to be spiritual. I was born into it, but with my past, I was like, there's no way there's a God. Not how can a God exist if he allows all this crap to happen to me? I didn't get it. But all that changed once I started to learn what spirituality really is. Spirituality is not a religion. Spirituality is deeper than that. It's like a connection with yourself and the world around you. And some people choose religions, and that's perfectly fine. No religion. I mean, it's whatever works for you. That's the beauty of it. It's whatever works for you.
Yeah. And spirituality comes in all forms,
Yeah. Some people like gardening, some don't. And it's a form of spirituality. Some people love to be in the mountains, and other people love the tropical view. So, but every one of us needs it. That's something that I think is universal. Every single human being needs to have that spirituality, that connection, and whatever that looks like for you. But everybody needs it in order to thrive. That's truly what I believe and I'm just speaking from my own experience. Once I connected spiritually, everything changed.
Mm-hmm. And I've decided to let my squirrel eat the food. Because he was back, poor little thing. And I went out there to put it on my, away from the bird feeder, and I scared it away. And then it was back this morning. I'm like, you know what? Just go ahead. I have a big bag of bird food.
I know, right? You should have showed everybody your big bag of food.
Just eat the food. Go ahead and have at it.
Hey, I mean, you're in the business of helping people. I mean, does that can be extended to animals too? It's okay.
You should see how many birds, because now I've given them water. So now they take a bath right next to the bird feeder. So there was 4 birds submerged in the water. And then wow. I went to the window. They are so scared. I went to the window to go and try and get a video of all 4 of them, and they flew away.
Aww.
I know. I've become a bird watcher. Oh my gosh.
Not wrong with that.
What's going on with me? I think that comes along with age, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. I guess when you get older, that's when you tend to start paying attention to the little things more, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have huge appreciation for nature right now. I don't know why. It's just profound. And nature has an appreciation for me. Well, because I feed them. But I just made hummingbird food because I noticed the hummingbirds weren't eating. And I was telling my husband, I said, I think there's something wrong with the food. So I made new food because I was like, they're not eating. So I'm like, I have to make new food for them. They have to eat.
And when you made the new food, did they eat it?
Well, it's in the fridge now. So after you boil the water, this is the hummingbird recipe, the secret sauce. You boil 4 cups water, 1 cup sugar, come to a boil, put the sugar, take it off, cool it down, put it in the fridge, and then you go out and put it in the hummingbird feeder.
I wonder why they say to use sugar.
I don't know.
I mean, obviously, I'm assuming they prefer it sweet but I don't know. I guess I just worry about that because, I mean, sugar's not healthy for us as humans. So why would they give it to birds?
Well, birds are made up of different genetics, though.
They are.
Maybe they can process it. I should research that. I'm going to research that.
I was just thinking the same thing. It's like, I should research that.
So we are going to bring on our guest, Tiffany, Paul.
Alrighty.
And I don't know if it's Forchione. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but he will tell us. But you're introducing him, so so good luck, Tiffany.
Thank you. Will I introduce him now or when you bring him on?
I'm going to bring him on right now.
Because he can hear us. He mentioned that. Hi, Paul.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Hi, Paul. How do you pronounce your last name? We were just wondering.
Fortune, like Fortune 500.
Oh, really? I thought it was Forchione.
Yeah, long story, but it's Fortune.
Fortune.
Okay, yep. And I might add, I like to watch birds too.
Oh, okay, good. I was feeling old. I'm like, why am I watching bird watching now?
No, it's quite fine. It's very relaxing.
Yes, it is. Thank you for joining
Okay.
us.
Thank you for having me. It's your first live show. I'm honored to be your first live guest.
Yes. We decided to make it easier on us because we were uploading the videos and it was taking a long time. So I'm like, let's just go live.
Yeah, we didn't edit it anyway.
Yeah, we never edited.
Yeah. Well, I love live because if you gaff, you just got to keep going.
Yeah.
Right? You just got to own it, right?
Yeah.
We're going to own it.
That's right.
I'm just going to do a little brief introduction so everybody knows who you are. This is Paul Forchione. Thank you for correcting that because I was totally going with Forchione. Well, Paul was born with cerebral palsy, and it was so severe that the doctors told his mom that he would never be able to walk. Thank goodness for a wonderful mom and a great mindset. That was not his destiny. He was able to overcome it and is now able to live a very active life. However, it wasn't easy to get to that point. Today, as a mindset coach, Paul shares his story with his clients to help them overcome obstacles in their lives. Amazing. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So nice to meet you.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. And you guys, I think you had a question about what cerebral palsy was, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so let me go into that a little bit if I could.
Yes, please.
Okay, so it's lack of oxygen to the brain at birth. So it happens at labor. And as a result of this lack of oxygen to the brain at birth, it can leave one side of the body paralyzed. It could affect your speech. And this is permanent. This does not go away. So when I was born, my mom noticed I wasn't moving the right side of my body very much. So she was very, very concerned about that. So she took me to the doctors to do some testing, and it came back that I did have cerebral palsy. And at the time, the doctors thought it was so severe that they thought I would never be able to walk, and it would be a good idea when I got to a certain age to get me ready to be in a wheelchair because that was going to be my life going forward. Well, thank goodness for a great mom. She didn't go with that diagnosis. She got other opinions and found a physician that was willing to help me. And with the physician's help, I was able to walk at age 3. I really don't remember it, but obviously that was a great feat from the other doctors that told me I'd never be able to walk. But I remember being put into soccer when I was about 5 or 6 years old. And at the time, I could only run about 25 to 50 yards. And obviously the other kids can run laps around the soccer field. I'm basically just standing there. And I remember going to my mom going, this is ridiculous. I don't want to play soccer. I'm just basically standing there. People, they're making fun of me. I'm not really playing soccer. I don't want to do it. And she said, that's fine. But we have to honor commitments. So you have to finish out the soccer season. And after that, if you don't want to play soccer anymore, that's your prerogative. So that's what has exactly happened. I'm 40 years old and I've never played soccer since in my life. So that's how that went down. But I got a big break when I was about 6 or 7. I got surgery on my right foot to give me a little bit more spring in my step and to kind of tighten up the tendons to kind of take away the pain where I felt when I ran. And I switched schools around this time, and I didn't know this at the time, how much this was going to be a changer for me. But I remember my first day of PE, physical education. We did our stretches, and the teacher said, okay, run a lap. And I'm like, here we go again. I'm going to run 25 to 50 yards, and these kids are going to see that, and they're going to start to tease me because that's all I could do. But because of the surgery was different, I went past that point where I normally have to stop, and I'm like, come on, Paul. You got this, bud. Keep going, keep going, keep going. And I finished the lap with the other kids. On the outside, I kept it cool, but the inside I was like, yes, 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 yes. Yeah. For the first time in my life, I felt like I fit in. I never felt that way before. It was, I know it sounds trivial, but for me, it was like running the Olympics, running a marathon. I just felt so good about myself. And things did get easier for me because of the surgery, but I wouldn't consider them easy. I switched to schools again in junior high. And as you guys know, junior high is a tough age. Kids going through hormonal changes. And they have no filter. They just say whatever's on their mind. If it hurts you, it hurts you. They're going to say it. The way it goes. So
and you're the new kid on the block.
Exactly. So just being a new kid alone, it's tough, right? With no disability whatsoever, just being the new kid because they already have their clicks and just to try to break in, that's tough alone. Well, I had that. Plus, I still walk with a little bit of a limp and I still hold my right arm a little bit differently. So I had that to overcome as well. And I was bullied, teased quite a bit during this time in my life. It was horrible. And around the same time, I was raised Catholic, so my mom wanted me to go to a Catholic high school. So I had to take an assessment test to see where I was at academically. Well, must have bombed the test, because when I met with the principal and my mom, the principal tells us that we're going to put Paul at the lowest level possible, and I don't expect much from him. He doesn't seem like he's college material after one test. So
Wow.
I get that news. I'm bullied and teased in school. I'm going into my room and I'm crying myself to sleep, going, why me? Why do I have to be different? Why can't I just fit in?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what came over me though, but midway through my 8th grade, I was just tired of being angry and sad, because deep down I knew that those were not my go-to emotions, but because of the environment I was put in, those are the emotions that were coming out most of the time. And I didn't want that anymore. And I thought to myself, what could I do to distract myself from these feelings that I'm feeling all the time? So I thought to myself, what if I set a goal for myself and I focused in on the goal, and then I could ignore the outside noise? So I thought, what should my goal be? And at the time, I really loved baseball. So I thought to myself, why don't I try to make my varsity baseball team? So I started playing fall ball, winter ball, spring ball. If I wasn't doing that, I was throwing a tennis ball against the wall. And I was doing this constantly. And the great thing about this goal, I didn't know this at the time. I definitely know this now. I was changing the energy I was sending out to these kids. I had my shoulders back, my head up. I was sending out this more of a positive confidence energy. And as a result of this new energy I was sending out to these kids, they were in turn sending a different energy back towards me. Instead of bullying and teasing me, they started rooting for me. So my high school career was much different than my junior high, all because of my energy shift that I had inside of me. And I'm happy to tell you, I was able to make my varsity baseball team as a junior and a senior.
Yeah.
And I graduated high school, and I started to really think about what that principal told me a few years earlier about not being college material, because all through high school, I really pretty much mailed it in. I just did enough to stay eligible to play baseball, because I was thinking to myself, what's the point of going any further? I'm not college material. Why waste my time? Just do enough to get by and move on. And now that I don't have baseball in my life anymore, and I thought to myself, well, I made this goal. Somebody with cerebral palsy making a high school varsity team. At the time, I thought that was near impossible. So I thought to myself, why not set another goal for myself to say that I am college material? So I enrolled into a junior college because I was the only place that would accept me. And I got myself a math tutor. I went to the math lab. I got other tutors. I did everything I needed to do to increase my GPA. And I was able to increase my GPA from a 2.0 to 3.5, right around that level. And as a result, I was able to transfer to a four-year university where I was able to graduate. And I so wanted to go back to that principal and say, see, you were wrong. I was college material. But in the end, I think I should thank her, because what if I didn't have her say that? I don't know if I would have been able to hit the books as hard as I did and have that motivation that I did to graduate college. So I just let it go and moved on. Now I'm, 22, 23 years old. I have no life experience. I have no idea what the heck I want to do with myself. And I had a family friend who was a CEO of a small bank, and he said, why don't you become a mortgage loan officer? I'll hire you. And I said, I'm not doing anything else. Let's go. Let's try it. So I get hired on, and I am received poorly. Nobody wants to talk to me. I'm sitting alone at lunch. I'm brought back to when I was in junior high. And I quickly realized what the issue was. They knew I knew the CEO, so they knew it wasn't because of the talents I knew. It was because of who I knew. So their plan was they were going to chew me up and spit me out as fast as possible, and then we're going to make it a living hell for me. So I thought to myself, this is a new challenge. I thought to myself, well, what did I do in junior high to overcome that? And that was the baseball goal. What attributes could I use to go after this goal that would be transferable? So I worked hard. I put my head down. I ignored the noise. I had a positive attitude. If anybody needed something, I got it done right away. And from afar, because they didn't want to talk to me, I was reviewing what the top producing loan officers did on a daily basis. And I remember my first day of wanting to go out in the field and get loans for the first time. My family friend stops me and goes, what are you doing? And I go, I'm going to go out in the field. I'm going to get some loans. I'm ready to go. And he has a concerned look on his face. He's like, no. You definitely are not ready. We need to get you more training. I go, no. I got this. I'm going to go. And let me tell you something. I fell on my face. For several months. I did not know what I needed to know. I was just kind of winging it. I was getting abused by the clients because I had no idea what they wanted. But slowly but surely, after a few months, I started to figure out value I could add to the clients. And once I started to figure out value, things started to click for me. It started to bring in loans, and then more and more and more. And then 2 years later, I became a top producer. And the people that didn't want to talk to me when I first got there are now coming to me for advice on how I was able to get so many loans at such a quick clip. And so I really, really, really enjoyed the industry for so long. And then 2008, 2009 hit, and the economy just tanked. And I mean, I got a job, I got laid off. I got a job, I got laid off. I mean, it was just a roller coaster of emotions. So I was really starting to lose the luster of the industry altogether. And I remember one of the last companies I worked with, they brought in this motivational speaker to talk to us, to kind of motivate us to go out and get loans. And the guy blew me away. The guy was awesome. So after the presentation, I made a point to go talk to him, to tell him how great of a job he did. And he said he started as a life coach. I'm like, what the heck? A life coach? What in the heck is that? And he explained that to me. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe that's what I want to do. So on the off time of being in the mortgage industry, I was getting my coaching certificate and I was putting it out there that that's what I was going to do. And people started humoring me and going, okay, life coach, go ahead and get loans, bud. They were just kind of shooing me away, right? But then things start to really get serious. Got my website up, got all everything going together, and I was going to do it as a side gig. And the legal department at the time got wind of what I was doing, and they're like, whoa, we got to review this. This could be a conflict of interest. So they came back with me with this 5-page report on what I could and couldn't say. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to make any progress coaching if I have to follow this to the T. So I thought to myself, I'm going to have to make some hard decisions. If I'm going to really have to make this work, I'm going to have to give it a go. So for a year, I paid down my debts. I did everything necessary because I knew, starting a business, I wasn't going to make any money for a very long time. So I knew I'd make some financial changes, did all that. And then I quit, and they were dumbfounded because they were like, dude, you just made President's Club. You're going to quit? You're a loan officer. What's this life coach thing? That's pie in the sky. It's nonsense.
They didn't get it.
They didn't get it. And then for the first couple of years, I didn't get it because I wasn't getting any clients. Nobody wanted to trust me. It was hard, very, 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 very hard. And I thought to myself, value. What value could I add to these clients? And the story I told you earlier about cerebral palsy, I wanted to bury that story because I was ashamed of that story, because all through my life, all I want to do is fit in. I did not want any special treatment. I just want you to treat me like anybody else. So anytime anybody would bring up cerebral palsy, I would almost be in tears crying because I didn't want to talk about it. And when I would be limping, I would make up some silly excuse why I was limping. I didn't want to say it was from cerebral palsy. And I thought to myself, the only way I'm going to make progress as a coach is I have to embrace my own story, having cerebral palsy. And once I started doing that, and I started putting it out there that what I had, what condition I had, people started coming to me and goes, well, I don't have cerebral palsy, but I have this, and I can relate to you, and I think you can help me. And then slowly but surely, people started trusting me, and I started to get clients and building up podcasts and doing all these things. And now I'm here on a live broadcast talking to you guys.
Wow. That is an amazing story.
Thank you.
That's what Tiffany and I were talking about, because Tiffany teaches a masterclass, and I was telling her, like, it's the whole trust thing, right? Like being vulnerable with your story and what you're usually ashamed of resonates with people. Because my whole book is a lot of things I'm ashamed of, but I've been sharing it and people actually are being drawn to it. So I just love that whole thing you just said, because it's so true. Right, Tiffany? I mean, Tiffany went through
I went through the same thing. The same thing. My book has it's my life story, and a majority of my life, it was just one bad thing after another. And so I resonate with a lot of what you said. That's why when you were telling your story, I was like, yes, yeah. It's awesome. All up in there. Because I feel you on so many levels, and I'm just happy to know you because I love meeting other people. Like Lauren, I love Lauren because she came from hell and back, and now she's empowering the world. And you came from people telling you couldn't do this and you couldn't. It's like, oh yeah, watch what I can do now. And I admire that because I know it's not easy. I know it's hard, but you did it. You pushed through it. You wanted to succeed and you made up your mind. You made that decision and you didn't even know what you were going to do. You just made up your mind and said, I'm going to do this. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I'm going to do it. And you did it. So I'm proud of you. I don't have to know you on a personal level to say that. Not many people are told that. So I want to tell you that I am proud of you because that is an amazing feat. So good for you.
Yeah. And he's a perfect living example of releasing the outcome, which I'm always
yes.
Release the outcome and the rest will follow. That's a song.
You're done.
Everything's a song for me.
I'm the same way. I relate to songs all the time. Somebody will say a phrase. I'm like, oh, Journey. I'll name out the band.
Yeah, I just start, like Tiffany and I will talk, and I'll just start singing a song because she said something that just reminded me of a lyric. I'm like, okay, that's a song.
I'm the same way. I do the same thing. If there's a phrase, I'll start singing. I'll be like, oh yeah, or call out the band or the song.
We're going to start doing that on our podcast show. Name that song. Name that tune.
I'm down to do that.
Yeah. I would definitely win.
Okay, so I get to see what questions we have. You got a question, Lauren?
Yeah, I want to know, can you share a challenging, funny experience that you've had along your career and, journey?
At what point? You at the now or towards the beginning or whenever?
Anytime that was funny, challenging, maybe something you learned from.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so I'll give you this one. I don't know if it's more of a funnier story than anything else, but when I made my varsity baseball team as a junior, and I was extremely nervous because I was put into the game, and I right before I was put in the game, the coach, I was running out there, and the coach pulls me back and goes, "Hey, Fortune, your fly's down." I was gonna go out there with all the family and friends with my fly completely down, my first time getting into a game. So that's how nervous I was. I was just extremely nervous. I wasn't looking at anything. I was just like, I just want to get in the game, and so I quickly zipped up and went back out there.
That's funny. I would like to know where that saying came from. Your fly's down.
Yeah, why is it fly?
Why is it fly?
I don't know why it's called that, but you know how they have or I think it's coming back, the button fly.
Yes.
So I don't know where that came. I guess because it's it has wing. I don't know, it has wings. I don't know.
We're gonna have to Google that because I really want to know. That's knowledge. That's knowledge to inspire.
Absolutely.
Because my husband's fly is typically always down, and I'm like, babe, your fly's down, and he's like, so. That's his response. He doesn't even fix it. I think he does it to annoy me.
You guys are very comfortable with each other, so that's very good, right?
Yeah, he's like, so what? I'm like, you're not going out of the house with that. You're gonna have to zip your pants.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
When it comes to what you're doing now, the work that you're in now, what is a common myth about your field of work that you would like the opportunity to debunk right now for our listeners?
The common myth is that I do the work for you. Everybody thinks that they come to me and it's all good. Once I come to Paul's going to solve all my problems in a span of a couple months, and I can move on whistling, and I feel light as a feather. That is the most common misconception about what I do, is like that I'm going to be able to do the problem, solve the problem for them, and they're going to be fine. And that's definitely not how it goes. They have to do the heavy lifting. Mm-hmm. I'm just there as the guy that helps you through it. When things are that are really, really rough. I'm there to motivate you, and I'm also there to call things out. To keep you accountable. Hey, you're really not doing this right now. You made a promise to yourself that you were going to start doing that. You're not doing it. Why is that? So it's a combination of that they need to know that they're going to be doing the heavy lifting, and they're going to feel uncomfortable working with me. I'm going to push them a little bit because nothing is going to be solved in the comfort zone. So there's going to be things that they're going to have to do that's going to make them uncomfortable. And I think that's the common myth that I like to have debunked.
Yeah, that's a good one because it's true. I mean, you just said it in your own story. Everything that you were saying, you had to do that work. Somebody said, "Well, you can't do this, blah 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 blah." You carried that and you could have ran with it and took that for the rest of your life, but you didn't. You made a choice. That's number one, I think, that everybody needs to know. It's before you do anything else, it's making that decision. Do you want to do it or not? Yes or no? Because once you make the decision to do the work, then that's it. You're golden. Then go to Paul
Yeah.
and be ready to work. And then
Yeah.
you'll see results.
Well, when you're ready to do the work, then I'm ready for you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I was just saying that because and Tiffany knows this, but I'm starting a nonprofit and I thought of the word show up, right? Because that is the first step to doing anything. You have to show up. If you don't show up, nothing's going to happen.
I showed up.
Yeah, you did. You almost didn't.
I'm glad I didn't because I'm getting a lot out of this show, Paul. So thank you again.
No problem. Well, I want to bring back a point that you guys were talking earlier before you brought me out. You talked about self-love a little bit, and that's what it's all about. It's all about self-love. You got to love who you are right this moment, not who you were in the past, not who you want to be in the future right now, warts and all. And that's got to be true, because if you do not love yourself, you're not going to go out and solve the problems you want to solve or accomplish the goals you want to accomplish, because you're not going to feel it right in the belly where you need to feel it. You got to really love who you are. And that's when things started to change for me, is I started to embrace who I was as a person. And as I was doing that through my baseball journey, things started to go the right way. And the same thing with anybody in their life. You got to love who you are, and you got to embrace your strength, and you got to embrace your weaknesses, and just know that you have some talent to give to the world. And once you find out what that talent is, share it with the world to see.
Aw, I love that so much. I got goosebumps.
Have you been reading my book? My book's all about self-love.
Right? You did your homework.
So do you have something inspiring? We like to end our show with an inspiring message from our guest. So do you have a quote that you like to say or read? Or
I do have a quote that I say to my clients all the time. They're sick of hearing it because I say it all the time. And it's, if you believe, you can achieve. And I firmly believe that. And real quick, before I go, I have a Facebook group that I would love for you guys to join, because you guys would be great for it. It's called Rewrite Your Story. And it's just basically a group that we come together and we inspire each other. People tell their stories of strength, weakness, and all we do is support them when they're down and praise them when they're up. And it's a great community that we've developed, and you guys would be great additions if you guys wanted to join. And any of your audience members as well. Rewrite Your Story Facebook group. We'd love to have you.
I think I found you. So do you have a picture of somebody typing?
Yes.
Okay, I found you.
Oh, awesome.
I just joined.
Oh, great. Welcome.
I'm join too.
I have to do it right away, because if I don't write it down, it goes in my head and out to the universe, and never comes back.
Got it. Well, thank you for joining.
Yeah, thank you. And Tiffany also.
Oh, look, I got 2 notifications right there. I love it. You guys will be awesome in it, because you guys, I feel your energy, and that's the type of energy that we love in that group, that just supporting each other and sharing stories and just helping each other out. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, and we'll post the group link when this video posts.
Please do.
Yeah.
Please do.
But thank you so much for being on the show. So
no problem, guys.
Sorry it took so long, but we are literally booked until September of this year.
Well, I'm so glad that I got on and I'm on the first live. It's awesome, and I'm glad to know you. And now we're gonna have we're gonna continue our relationship and hopefully grow and learn. I'll learn more about you guys, and I'll do whatever I can to support you guys in your adventures.
Thank you, Paul.
No problem.
Thank you so much. It was such a joy meeting you.
All right, guys. You guys have a good rest of your day, and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay, bye.
Good. Bye.
Oh, what a great guest.
I see. I'm glad I showed up. This should be a lesson for everybody. I'm being honest, dead honest. That
And then
I
look, and you know what, too, Tiffany,
uh,
you look so much brighter. Your face, like just smiling, because when you first came on, you were like this.
I was seriously. That's how I feel.
And
But I feel lifted.
I feel your energy because we're so connected spiritually. So I'm like, uh-oh, something's wrong.
You can feel. She can feel my energy. She says from my text messages, and then when we get to
Yeah.
talking, I'm like, oh yeah, today is like.
I can already
felt it.
I feel your vibe like from all the way in California, and you're in Utah.
That's crazy.
And I
But yeah,
feel like, and me and you were on the same cycle. This is knowledge, people, because you know when you work in an office with women, you get on the same cycle, and me and you are so close that I'm on your cycle because I follow right behind you. I'm going through symptoms.
And just so everybody knows, we've never physically met. We live in two
No.
different states. I'm in Utah right now, and she's in California. But I'm telling you, we just kind of went vroom, like
Yeah.
magnets.
Yeah, we were meant to meet. I mean, it goes back to that. Everybody comes in and out of your life. Then some people stay and some people don't.
Yeah.
But everybody is in your life to teach you a lesson. And I truly, truly believe that. Like
Paul shared that. What was it, that principle?
Yeah.
You're not college material. The doctor, oh, you're never gonna walk. And look, and I think that we can apply that to the entire world.
Yeah.
Anybody that has ever said or set a limitation on you, whether it was your own mother, your own father, your own caregiver, I don't care who it is, throw it out the window. There's no such thing as a limitation unless you create it in your own mind.
Yeah, I just thought when you said throw it out the window, I thought of baseball. You know how you go, there's that noise. I can't do it.
Did you hear it though when I said that?
Yeah, I can hear it. It's all. I can't make the noise though. Oh my God.
This is a good example too, because I felt like crap. I feel like crap. I'm going to go lay down after this because I'm self-care. But I'm glad I did show up because I got something out of this. Like I feel inspired. Paul inspired me, and it kind of reignites that fire of my purpose in life and what it is that I'm doing. Did you feel that, Lauren? Like,
yeah, he's very, you know who he reminded me of our other guest. Gosh, that other guy that we talked to, that me and you just wanted to go run around the block.
I think I know who you're talking about. I want to say his name was Paul too.
Remember him? And he had that brick wall background. And I said, is that fake or is that real? Nelson Tressler. Nelson. How could I forget him? Nelson, if you're listening, man,
you're awesome.
These men that just come out and are vulnerable with their stories, I'm so inspired by them. You know, we always talk about like women only do this work, but men do it too. And when they do it. They come hard. You know, it's like we're coming out and we're telling our story and we're going to inspire. And it's just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's refreshing, isn't it? I love it. I love it when the men come on and when they're speaking our language. It's like, you see, it's not just talking about your emotions and your mental health and all this stuff, your spirituality. It's not just a female thing. It's really not. You were lied to, men. You guys are just as, spiritual and supernatural as us women. And you guys deserve to heal, just like we do. You guys deserve to feel your emotions, honor them. I mean, we're amazing human beings, both men and women,
Yes, we are. And I want to see how we look close up. I'm just playing with StreamYard now. But thank you. So does this actually play after we hang up, Tiffany? Like people can rewatch?
Yes, it'll do a replay. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be on our page, on our group page. It should be on there right now. And whoever's watching right now, if anybody, it's 444. Woo!
444. That's my mailbox number. I went to go check it today. 444.
That's how connected we are. You should tell people about that story.
Yeah, real quickly. So I had to get an address for my nonprofit for the application for the IRS. And she said, you cannot use your PO box. And I didn't want to use my home address. So I decided to get a business address. So I go down to UPS because UPS gives you street addresses. And the guy, poor guy, really, really busy guy, stressed out of his mind. He comes to the counter. He goes, okay, so here's your box number 444. And immediately I thought of Tiffany. I'm like, oh my God, that's Tiffany's number. And that day, me and you actually talked because you needed someone to talk to. You needed a friend. And
you pulled the friendship card that day
I pulled
too.
the friendship card, and I went and I got my mailbox number, and it was 444, and it was for a nonprofit, which is going to be a support group for mental health awareness and people who want self-love and just want to come together and love each other. And it all happened on that day. So 444 is the perfect number for my address for my business. It's actually my whole business address. So,
and that's intention and just all this great goodness, you know, the power of the fours, and it's times 3. Cause for me, it was the 11s, the 1s, and then it went to 4s, 44s. And then once in a while I'll get the 3 4s, and it's like really cool. But it just goes to show how spirituality and connection and energy all exists, and it's real because we give you guys examples all the time through me and Lauren. I mean, that was a crazy day because I did need you that day. I was just distraught. I was having the worst day. I think my husband and I had gotten into it a little, and I was just like, I need a friend. You available? And she was there for me, and I felt so great. And then all that stuff happened to her. It was just really strange how everything was like interwoven.
Yeah, because you had texted me right when I had my deck of cards out, and I said, give me 5 minutes. And then I pulled my card, and it was the friendship card. And I pulled that card again a week later. I've been pulling the same cards, which is amazing. But yeah, that was a good day. Every day is a good day.
I've been doing them with my husband, and I did a past, present, future with him, and he's starting to be like, whoa. And then like another day, I think I did a card for him, and I did a 1 card pull, and I pulled it for him, and it was the same card as the one before. And that tripped him out. And I was like, you see?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so you were pulling all your cards. The card I pulled, the 3 I pulled for you was perfect for you. And that same day I pulled for my son, my 18-year-old, and it was a perfect message for him. So,
and I pulled the same card for myself that you pulled for me.
Yeah.
So that's pretty crazy. Out of the whole deck, come on.
Yeah, the angel guides, pretty powerful once you connect. I mean, I'm a believer. I didn't believe in it before, right? But I'm a true believer.
Heck yeah.
Like once you connect, it's just you start seeing things and signs, not seeing things like I'm cuckoo, but you know, like the birds and
signs, like
signs and
meaning, right?
With meaning. And that Cooper's hawk that I saw that picked up that white bird with white feathers in my yard and flew away on Easter, right? And I haven't seen that hawk again, Tiffany. That hawk has not been back. That was
a crazy sign.
That was a sign because it was a white bird with lots of white feathers, beautiful feathers. They were all over the yard because it picked it up and flew away with it.
And the white feather symbolizes something good, right?
Yeah, it's an angel. It's a angelic. Angel feathers have different colors and meanings. And the white, I forgot what the white means, but it was on Easter, and I have not seen that hawk again. That was the one and only time I've ever seen that hawk. And I was like, whoa, that's crazy. So
I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
I love your stories, but I love this live. I think this is awesome. I can't wait to do this.
Yeah, we have one viewer. I don't know who it is, but whoever you are, thank you for watching. We are so appreciative of you.
It's probably me. I said checking.
What?
I said, maybe it's me because I'm checking.
Well, if you're watching the replay, we appreciate you. We know that people are working and it is the middle of the day. But
I wonder, this should probably be a good time, I'm wondering, or maybe a little bit later, because I'm wondering if there's a specific time. Are we going to do the shows at the same time every day on Tuesdays from now on?
Yeah, because we're booked with this time all the way until October and November. Like the guests already know about this time. I think next year we can change it.
Because I just want everybody to know that's watching, we're going to do these live from now on. So instead of posting the video on Wednesdays, we're going to have this live video here on StreamYard live. And it's going to be at, what is that? It starts at, help me out, Lauren, because I'm using my time.
3:00 p.m. Pacific time.
Okay, yeah, 3 p.m. Pacific. 4 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern. So if you can ever join in because when we have our guests or even when we're here, you guys can ask us questions. You can ask our guests questions and we're open books. We'll answer pretty much anything, right, Lauren?
Yes, we will.
We're here. So if you want to jump on when we're here, meet us every Tuesday. You'll see more of us. We're going to come out more and be out there more and so you can get to know us.
Yeah. And like I always use songs. I'm coming out. Dun, dun. I want
There you go.
you know. Got to let it show.
Facebook's not going to dock us, is it?
No.
You're not allowed to sing that song.
I think when you play the music, when you play it, you're not allowed. But if you sing it, what are they going to do about us singing it?
It's just silly.
Whew, mama hot. Okay. That little dance made me all sweaty.
Hey, do you feel like do you have your cards next to you?
No. I need to bring it. But I like the quote that he said. What did he say? If you can believe it,
If you can believe it, you can achieve it. Yes. That's that comes from that famous quote, the Napoleon Hill quote. And I love it because I believe it with all my heart and soul that it's true. Because if you can manifest it, and that's why manifestation works, because if you can visualize it and believe it, if you can believe it in your mind, you will achieve it. And that's the power of manifestation, the law of attraction, all that good stuff. Yeah. But I admit what I'm feeling right now, all that stuff, I'm just like, I'm just feeling it. So my body's just like, and I've been learning about this stuff that, you know, when women are menstruating, that's should be looked at as like your winter time. You know, you should be warm and comfy and cozy and eating comfort food and all that stuff. And you shouldn't be, you know, stressing yourself out or spreading yourself thin because your body's just not in a position to do that. And that's about self-care. So my whole entire schedule is going to be now scheduled around my menstrual cycle. And that's going to start in May. So I'll report back, but I think it's going to be pretty amazing. If you're not doing it, I recommend you do it because I don't know, for me, it's been kind of crazy and it's been affecting me. So I'm going to conquer this.
Yes, you will, girl. You wrote a book about it.
Well, not about menstrual cycles, but I do want to learn more about all that stuff and the moon phases and the cycles. I'm actually learning about all that stuff right now. So the more I learn, the more I'll share it with everyone.
Because that, y'all, is knowledge to inspire.
Yes, it is.
And on that note, we will see you next week. Right, Tiffany?
Yep. Bye, everybody. This was awesome. Meet us. Join us live next week. I'm happy to answer questions.
Yeah. See ya. Ciao, Bella.